room. Was some warrior efforts, I thought, won by this guy. Thanked him in front of the whole team for, I thought, just a monumental effort to go 20 of 28 and put us in position to have a chance to win a football game down on some people and some personnel. Can't thank him enough, along with some other guys that I thought gave it all. It was one of those games that we had mistakes that in the end you look back and there's going to be 3 or 4 plays that you look back and that's the difference in the game. Whether it's a turnover deep on our end of the field, whether it's a punt return by them once we get up, whether it's thinking you got a touchdown, and then all of a sudden it's a drop. And guys gave great effort. Absolutely, all the way down to the end. I was extremely proud of them. From an injury standpoint, obviously Marvell, Cam were already out for this game, as well as JT. We knew that. Levi Jones left the game with a hip injury. Chuma Doga left the game with knee. Talanoa Hufanga has broken his collarbone, and Greg Johnson left the game. With that, I'll take any questions that you got.
Clay, you had a couple pretty critical fourth downs there in the fourth quarters. I'm going to ask you about 2 of them. The 4th and 1, I believe, around your own their 20. Why no divide? And then the other one I want to ask about the one that you punted on. Did you think about going for it? How close were you to going for it?
The first one, it was on the far hash, and I didn't know exactly where we were at first. And then when I saw that we were 4th and 1, I called timeout because I told our kids we'd be aggressive in this game, whether it was a flea flicker, whether it was a double pass. We were going to be ultra aggressive and not play scared. Thought we had a good play called, and we got penetration in the A gap on a power play that had worked for us earlier for big runs. I have total faith in Sedware. Sedware is a senior, a vet, and I know he is as physical as all get out and was running the ball extremely well. As a matter of fact, he was right at 5 yards a carry today. So I have total faith in him to be able to do that. And the second one, being backed up and looking up, and there was 4 minutes left on the clock and still having a timeout. I knew if we could punt it down and be able to get a 3 and out, we were probably going to have about 2.5 and some change. And rather than, basically if you don't make the 4th and 2, it's pretty much ball game. I entrusted our defense to be able to do that. I knew I had a timeout in my pocket. I still looked up after 4 plays, and it was still above 2 minutes. And still had the opportunity there at the end to stop on a 3rd and 1, and we just didn't get it done. I was proud of both 2-minute drives, the one before the half and the one right there at the end. Being in your first one of those in a real game, I thought Jack did a tremendous job, and we just didn't get the onside kick. So would I change anything? No, Adam. I went into the game to be aggressive, but not be dumb. And I thought the first one was aggressive, and the second one I entrusted our defense to get a stop, and I believe in them. I knew we had enough time on the clock to get it back and execute a 2-minute drive.
Like on the first one, when you guys were in the 4th and 1, they're 20, you called the timeout, but first you were lined up in the field goal.
When it was on the opposite hash, and it came across as it was going to be 4th and 2. And when I finally got to see and actually walked down to about the 20 to see how close it was, I was like, man, this is a 4th and 1. I knew we had walked in the game saying whatever it takes, and it was one of those times that it was worth the gamble. I liked how the power play was being run. We just split it for a couple big runs. So we got under center, we loaded the box, and said, you know what, let's go try it. And at the end of the day, we had a penetration in the A gap that didn't let the off guard pull. And that left one more. I thought Sed gave a great effort to try to get there, but at the end of the day, I made a call, and I'll live with it.
You mentioned a sad locker room. Was the feel of this one different than the 3 before it in any way, the way that it felt?
They all stink. This one I think hurts these guys more because they love this place as we all do, and we all know what walking into the Coliseum means. It means your best effort and coming out with a victory, and we didn't get that done today. And as a coach, as a coach, you know you've got your kids when they're sad and there's tears. And when I see a grown man like Jay Tufele being as emotional because he gave everything he friggin' had, and I see guys just absolutely saddened by a loss. That's what you want as a coach. You don't want a loss, but that's the emotion that you want to be able to see, that it hurts them. That it hurts them when they lose. And so I appreciated them all for their effort, and like I told them, there'll be better days ahead.
What kind of emotions are running through your mind right now, your heart?
I'm sad for the kids, to be honest with you. I'm sad for to go out there and play that hard and not come away successfully. I hurt for them. I'm not really worried about myself. I'm more worried about a guy that gave extreme effort, or seniors in that locker room, or a guy that stood up not only at halftime but in the fourth quarter in John Houston and rallied our kids. There's a bunch of warriors in there, and we didn't win a ball game today, and I hurt for them. We'll try to go and get one next week.
John, for you guys out on the field, how noticeable was the absence of Marvell Tell out there today?
I mean, it was noticeable, but I feel everybody's up to their task and ready to come up when their name is called. So everybody filled in well. Jane came out and did his job, and everybody else, like he came out and did a good job at nickel.
Jack, was it just a matter of settling in early on, getting comfortable?
Yeah, been a while since I've been in a game setting. We did our best in fall camp and my entire time here, and I got to go out there and play better in the first half, settled in, and felt comfortable in the second half, and guys never stopped believing in me. So it was fun to rally with them and keep competing. We fought till the very end.
I'd like to say something too on not only Jack but with Maddie too.
Yeah.
In today's time, when you get disappointment in a training camp and other guy gets named the starter around the world, a lot of times you see guys just say, you know what, I'm out. And neither guy did that. They stayed right with it and said, you know what, Coach, when my opportunity comes, I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to practice and train like a starter. And not only with Jack, but with Matt Fink too, I want to be able to say thank you, because the last 2 weeks, when called upon, the training that they have done from the first day of training camp all the way till now is very much appreciated. They practice like starters, and today this kid, and as well as Maddie last week, played like a starter.
Jack, to Clay's point, why did you stay?
Love these guys, been with them for over 2 years. This man next to me, I believe in what he was doing here, and I still do, and I'll fight for him every down, every play, no matter what's going on. And I love this university and value the degree from this place, and never even crossed my mind.
Clay, are you at liberty to say what the issue was with Marvell Tell?
Marvell, coming out of last week's game, had stingers. And obviously that's neck and nerves. Was non-contact all week, and I always go by, like I say, doctors, player, and then my gut. And medically, was able to play if it was a neck roll. He didn't feel comfortable, and he addressed that with me Friday. He said, Coach, I just don't feel right. And I said, then I don't feel right either. We'll get the next man up. And I'm never going to put a guy in a situation where he's not confident in or doesn't feel like he can go execute or get further injury. And so we decided against it yesterday, and moved to J-Nay to safety and Lockett to nickel. And man, I was really proud for Locke to get that opportunity. And there's another guy that's waited his turn, and today went out there and competed with great effort. And can't wait to watch the tape, because it felt like he played really well today.
Clay, you moved Jack out of the pocket. Seemed like he was rolling out more, moving, throwing the run a little more in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Was that part of kind of an adjustment at halftime, or?
No, we had come into the game saying that one of the things that we wanted to do, because this was a pressure bunch, this was a bunch that had about every down as a 5-man rush team. And you know, being an O-line coach's son, one of the great things my daddy taught me was to make sure that you change the launch point for the quarterback when you're playing a pressure team like that. And you know, I thought T did a nice job this week of creating schemes to be able to get out of the pocket and be able to get him on the move. And I tell you what, too, he created some. I mean, even off the dropbacks, you saw him break, contain, and keep plays alive and find either receivers downfield or make yards with his legs. I thought in the 2-minute drill, especially right before half, that was a huge drive to get it back to 2 scores, and the ability to keep the ball alive, I thought was great by him.
Let's do one more.
John, Coach said that you rallied the troops at one point. Can you talk a little bit more about what that was?
Just bringing everybody up on the fourth quarter. Everybody in, just talking to them, giving them a little pep speech, telling them that we got this, and then we just got to finish out the game.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you.